Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. Today, I will be describing the steps of the selling process to you as our lesson today. So first, who can tell me what is involved in the selling process? Okay, do you know what the selling process is? And does anybody know what it means to approach someone or to close a sale? Okay, good. So to introduce what we'll be learning, we're going to be doing a role play situation, and I'm going to have two people come up and read the scripts that I prepared, and one of them will be showing an example of a good sale, and one will be showing an example of a bad sale. So let's get two volunteers to come up to the front now, and we'll do the role play activity. That was a great role play, everyone. So to know why it's important to know the steps of the selling process is because to become an effective seller in a business, you must understand the steps needed to make a sale. So I want to ask, has anyone ever been approached by a sales associate that was trying to get you to buy their product? Okay, and what did they ask you? Okay, and did you buy from them? You did. Okay, why did you buy from them? Okay, good. So now let's jump into describing the steps of the selling process. The first step in the selling process is to prepare for the customer or the pre-approach. The pre-approach should include becoming familiar with products or services, being up to date with industry trends and competitors, researching potential customers, and becoming familiar with companies' policies and procedures. One should acquire product knowledge to communicate product benefits and to ensure appropriateness of product for the customer. You want to understand sales processes and techniques to enhance customer relationships and to increase the likelihood of making the sale. Now, the next step in the selling process is to actually approach the customer. And this is the first interaction between the customer and the salesperson, so it's very important to make a good first impression because it makes a personal statement. And this is the first opportunity for a salesperson to identify customer needs and wants. A salesperson should be prepared for various types of approaches depending on the type of customer. And a person could be ready for an approach if they are unsure what product to buy. The third step in the selling process is to determine the customer's wants and needs. And when determining their wants and needs, you want to observe, listen, and question. By doing so, open-ended questions are the best policy because it can get the customer talking about things that they wouldn't initially state. So, therefore, you really want to stay away from closed questions, which are just yes and no answers. The fourth step in the selling process is to present the product or service features as customer benefits. Now, the presentation should include creating a feature benefit chart that translates each feature into a customer benefit. Emphasis should be placed on the fact that the customer purchased benefits, not features. And just to be clear, a feature is a distinctive attribute or aspect of something, and a benefit is an advantage or a gain. After you present product or service features as customer benefits, your next step is to overcome the customer's objections. To do this, you want to discover more information about the customer's needs and wants. You can use customer feedback to turn objections into selling points. You want to address the concerns of the customer about the product or service being offered. And just to clarify, an objection is an expression or feeling of disapproval, and an excuse is an attempt to lessen the blame. So now you know if a customer is trying to get out of it by using an excuse or they actually have a real objection about a product. The next step is to close the sale. And this is the point at which the customer makes the decision to purchase the good or service. Now, not every sales presentation results in a sale. Buying signals can be verbal or nonverbal, telling the salesperson that the buyer is ready to buy. Verbal is spoken words, and nonverbal communication can be a gesture, the way a person stands if they're facing you or turned away, how close a person stands to you, how much they talk to you, or how much eye contact a person is making with you. The next step in the selling process is to use suggestion selling. Demonstration should include offering the customer suggestions of additional products or services to complement the primary purchase. Now, suggestion selling should take place after the product is purchased because you don't want to overwhelm the customer with all these different products. The benefits of suggestion selling could help the customer by giving them complementary products and to you by selling more products. Now, the last step in the selling process is to apply follow-up and relationship building strategies. You want to build and create customer confidence, and you want to reaffirm the buyer's decision by following up with a thank you note for the sale. And relationship building can build strong relationships with clients and partners and keep them coming back to buy more products. Now that we have learned all of the steps of the selling process, we're going to do an activity. But before we do that activity, let's review a little bit. The first step of the selling process was the pre-approach. And this is where a salesperson should be familiar with products to ensure good communication about a product. The second step is to approach the customer, and this is where you want to make a good impression, and you'll know when to approach a customer if you see that they are unsure what to buy. The third step is to determine the customer's needs and wants, and to do this, a salesperson should observe, listen, and question. The next step is to present product or service features as customer benefits. Then you want to overcome the customer objections by turning those objections into selling points by addressing their concerns. The next step is to close the sale. And remember, not every sale presentation results in a sale. Next, you want to use suggestion selling to give them complementary products. The last step is to apply follow-up and relationship building strategies. Now that we have reviewed, the activity we're going to do is a scenario. The scenario is that you are a salesperson working at Dillard's in the shoe department, and you see a customer holding a pair of sandals and a pair of high heels. How would you help the customer make a decision? Now, when answering the scenario, you need to include every step of the selling process. You can work in groups of 2 if you feel the need to, and I'll be walking around helping anyone who needs it. Everyone did very well on the activity, and I hope you all had fun while doing it. Now I'm going to see how well you all know this information and evaluate you individually on the selling process. For the evaluation, I'm going to list the steps of the selling process in a random order, and your job is to put them in the correct order. Now, in conclusion to today's lesson, last week we talked about the different types of approaches. Today we described the steps of the selling process, and next week we will examine different types of ways to close the sale.